Hey guys, it's Michael again with Pure Pursuit Automotive. I wanted to introduce you to our newest acquisition, a 2009 Mercedes Benz SL63. I want to walk around it and show you a little bit about the car. Alright guys, we'll start with the engine bay of this SL63. As you can see, it has a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated engine, making 521 horsepower. We'll come on down, take a look at the front. The SL is very unique in that it doesn't look like a lot of other things in the Mercedes lineup. The AMG adds a more aggressive front bumper that you wouldn't see on the normal SL. All right, we're going to take a walk around the outside of the car right now. Take a look at the wheels and tires right now. It has 19-inch wheels with Pirelli P0s on them. As you can see, pretty large vented and drilled brakes because this thing can get up to a lot of speed. One of my favorite aspects of this car is the 6.3 liter AMG badge on the side there with a functional air vent to channel warm air away from the engine and brakes. We'll take a quick glance at the interior. We'll come back to this more in our interior features video. As you can see, leather interior, wood grain on the dash. Come around, let's see, rear wheels, same size, a little bit wider wheel and tire. As you can see, also large brakes in the back. We'll come around here to the trunk area. Because this is a hardtop convertible, it does have some unique features in the trunk. Trunk goes up pretty high, which is nice. There's this protective lid that you want to put down if you're going to put the top down. Just keeps some of your stuff safe in the back. Move that out. So you can see, pretty large trunk. You could definitely fit a set of golf clubs in here. It would be very tight, but it is probably manageable. We have the mats from the car in the back here. Lift this up. As you can see, you have your spare tire. Not a full size, but it also comes with the air compressor in case you do get a flat and you don't want to change it. All right, we'll come down. Another unique feature of the SL63, the more aggressive rear end. So as you can see, those giant tailpipes in the back with a large diffuser. This car's warmed up, so I'm going to hop in it, let you hear the exhaust, kind of get a taste of what it sounds like. We're going to start talking you through some of the interesting things about it. We'll start down here with the start stop button, which is unique on this car. It's on the top of the gear shift, which I think is pretty cool. Gives you a sense of occasion about starting the car instead of having to do it up here, which is normally is done. You have your drive mode selector down here as well, between comfort, sport, sport plus, and manual. Some more buttons on here for your AMG. You have the AMG button, which when pressed will put the car into its full AMG mode, which is sport suspension, sport plus. That way you can get the full out of the car. Now, that does it all for you, or you can select certain things like turning the sport suspension on and off. It'll give you better handling and it'll be a little bit firmer ride, but so it's not for everyday road use if you're going to try to drive it with some comfort level. Your traction control and stability control is all here. Press it once for sport, hold it down to turn it all the way off. Now, since this is a 6.2 liter V8, putting it all the way off may not be the best idea if you're not the best driver. Only use that button if you're confident in your abilities. I'm going to put it on for now. This car has 3 ride heights. Right now it's in its normal setting. Push it once, raise the suspension slightly. Press it again, it raises the suspension to its highest setting. That way if you were to take it through a car wash, or if you're pulling up to a parking spot that has a curb on it, you're not going to hit anything and damage that low nose or scrape up any wheels. Put it back down. Right here are the controls for the mirrors. Very unique that it's in the middle here. Simply press one in and you can select easy like that. Say if your car is going to be towed by a tow truck, say you broke down, you're going to press this button here. That'll make sure that the alarm doesn't go off if the car is being towed, because the car will know that and it'll set the alarm off and have a big huge fuss and won't go anywhere. It'll lock up the wheels and you're not going to be able to go anywhere, so you definitely want to turn that off. That's important to know. You could really damage your car if you didn't do that. Over here we have the parking sensors. Simple, easy, on and off. Red light means off. No red light means they're on. Those parking sensors are displayed up here on the front. When you get close to something, they come on. Right now, there's nothing close enough to the front bumper to make those turn on. But if there were, there's two right on the right and left. That way you can see where your right front and left front are, and gives you kind of a gauge of how far away you are. We'll move up here to the HVAC controls. Pretty simple, very similar to the rest of the controls in the Mercedes. Simply choose your temperature and mode with these dials. AC on and off, all very simple. I don't need to run through that with you. Moving up here to the sort of Infotainment Center. Now, it's a very similar system what Mercedes has in all their cars, so it's nothing new here. It's just an adaptation for the SL. As you can see, you have all your choices up here on the left. You can scroll through the systems with these buttons here on your right. Pretty simple. If you guys have any questions about how this is used, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to walk you through it over the phone or through email. Now we'll come up here to the steering wheel and gauge area. Start here with the steering wheel. You have your controls for, so on the left here are the controls for the different little screens here and your gauges. We can just scroll through kind of what things you want to see. There's plenty of options. So right now we have the mileage on the left and the current speed on the right. Over here on the right side, you have your ability to answer and decline phone calls, as well as change the volume on the radio. In back, you have your paddles for shifting up and down are written on them. Right's up, left's down. Now in the back here, we have this stalk is used for your linguatronic system. So if you wanted to pull it and tell the car to do something, I'll demonstrate that here for you now. Navigation. And it takes it to your navigation screen. So it does work very well, which is unique because these linguatronic systems tend to not like to work that well. But this one's working well, so that's good. On the stalk on the left side, you have your controls for your cruise control. Up and down to set, forward and backward to accelerate and decelerate. Back here, the steering wheel is in the way, but we have the second stalk on the left side that controls all the things for your wipers and your washer fluid. Also back behind this, I don't know if you guys can see, there's the controls for the headlights. We have it in the auto setting at the moment. There's also a button here in the back here for washer fluid on the headlights. Now I'm going to have him point the camera over here at the right side seat controls because you can't really see these. But as you can see, there's 3 switches for seat settings. Those settings are the top right with the little arrows coming out of it. Now that's a heated seat, and that'll keep your seat warm, bottom and back of the seat. Below that with the fan, that is the air conditioned seat. Now on the left, that large button with an arrow coming out of the headrest. Now that's a unique feature for the SL. On the back of the headrests, there's a little vent area, and what that'll do is blow warm air on the back of your neck. So if you're driving, if you're driving with the top down, you'll be able to get a little bit of warm air on the back of your neck, keep you warm if the temperature's a little colder out. Now that little seat there, that's all this different settings for your seat, moving it back and forth, 8-way power seat. So now up here is your SOS. Mercedes is good about this. You have to press the button in, and then you can press the emergency button. That way it doesn't get pushed on accident. We're not going to keep that open because I don't want to push it. On the bottom of the mirror here, we have the 3 buttons for your home link, so you can set it for your garage. Now we'll move down here, and we'll show you some of the controls for the convertible top. So this handle is unique. As you can see, it has different buttons underneath. So in order to move the top back, you simply move it in the way you want the top to go, essentially. So flip it like that, hold it down the entire time. The windows will go down, and the back will open up. The roof will start to come off. Fold away. Nice and simple, nice and fast. You can do that at a traffic light if you wanted to. Now these two buttons down here, they have another function. There's a roll bar that you can put up. Simply press this button, hold it down. This roll bar will extend. That's its fully open position. And then the other button here is to put the roll bar down. You simply hold that button down. Now we're going to put the top back down, so you put it like that, then you press down and hold. Once again, top operation is pretty quick. You can absolutely do that at a stoplight if you wanted to. Another interesting feature about the SL are the window switches. Now, if you notice, there's 4 windows technically. So you have your 2 windows on the door and 2 windows in the back here. So they're automatic windows. 1 click will have them come up. Then if you want to get these back windows up, pull them up again and hold, and the rear windows are up. And now you have all the windows up. One more unique feature about the SL, if you'll look up here, it has a panoramic roof of sorts. You can cover it with this nice sunscreen, or you push these 2 buttons in, it'll snap back, and you have a fully functioning sunroof on a convertible, which is pretty cool. As you can see, that's a large pocket in the door. That way you can store things like, wallets, maybe even a small purse will fit in there, whatever you can think of. There are several other spots for storage on this car. One is back here. As you can press these lids open, you have rather large storage in the back behind the seats. And there's one on each side. And also, more storage are these seatbelt things. So these snap out. There's another seatbelt on the bottom on the floor there that you can snap these into, so you can tie down cargo if you had the luggage you wanted to put here and you had the top down so it wouldn't fly away. You can snap it in and secure it. I'm going to drive it around, kind of relay my thoughts and feelings on how it feels and give you a sense of what it's like to drive. We're going to make a little bit of a loop around town here. Right now it's in comfort mode. I'm going to put it into sport here. What that'll do is it keeps the engine revving a little bit higher so that you can have better throttle response. It also firms the suspension up a little bit so it's better for handling. Alright. About to get on a little straight part here, so I'm going to pop it in Sport Plus. Let you get a sense of the speed this thing's capable of. As you can see, it's a pretty quick car, more than enough. That 6.2 liter sounds phenomenal. I love the naturally aspirated engine that these had. Now they moved to twin turbocharging their cars, which is great. The power's there, but it just doesn't match the same feeling and sound you get from a naturally aspirated engine of that size. Now this thing, as much as it is a Grand Tourer, which it really is, it handles pretty well. It handles like it's supposed to be a sports car. So if you were to take this to a track, which is not, I wouldn't say probably not the first choice, but it would be able to hold its own, especially with the power it has. Now it's not as good as you say maybe a C63 is to the turns, because it is a little heavier, a little more set up for highway driving. It's very much a Autobahn car, but it absolutely can hold its own in the turns. I wish we were out in the countryside with some curvy roads, but we're not. We're in the city. I'm going to put it in comfort and kind of get an idea of kind of how smooth it is, because it actually really makes a big difference from sport to comfort. Now you're driving along, it's smooth and comfortable, relatively quiet, you don't want it to be too quiet. You want to be able to hear that engine, which you absolutely can. But it's not something that's going to wear you out on a long drive. We're going to try to not hit this bicyclist here. All right, sir. All right, while we're waiting for him to move, we can kind of talk about some other things. The ergonomics of everything in the cabin is very well done. Mercedes is very good at this, as you can imagine. They spend quite a bit of money to make sure that the The CD position is great. You have access to everything you could need. You don't have to go looking for it. All the buttons are right where you need them, as well as the ones on the steering wheel. Now we're driving with the top up for now. It's a little bit colder out. Also, I don't want you to hear me when I talk. I mean, I know you guys want to drown me out, but that's too bad. You see, I gave it some gas there in comfort mode, and it's going to stick to its comfort mode settings. It's going to not change up crazy like it would in the... It's not going to let you rev super high like it would in Sport Plus mode. It's going to keep that comfort setting. You see, there was your Sport mode, and that the wheels will... Traction control light will spin up for quite a while if you really get into it, because this thing is pretty powerful. Alright, that concludes our test drive video of the 2009 SL63. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out our other videos of this car, as well as all the other inventory, over at PurePursuitAuto.com.